Hi guys, welcome to Tech Trick Tutorial. Today we're going to talk about how to add buttons in Webflow, animated and flex buttons. It's a step-by-step guide to follow easily, so don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button. Let's dive right in. As you can see right now, we are currently in Webflow. So for our today's demonstration, we will be starting from scratch, or basically out of nothing. So let's click on new site over here so that we could create our fresh new site. As you can see, we can choose from the different templates over here. Now, for me, I'm going to go with a portfolio starter for now, so that we could see how the buttons would interact with the different elements that we can't really see if we use the black site. So we're going to be using a template that has some different elements as well, so that we can see how it would interact together. And this is our website over here. Okay, so buttons. Buttons are one of the most basic and at the same time one of the most complex elements that you could have on your websites. It is not limited to Webflow. You could use any other platforms out there, and they all have different settings that you could play around with and edit in their editing software. So right now on our screen there is no any button ref. So what we're going to do is we're going to add a button into our website over here, our design right now. To be able to add a button is very simple. All you need to do is to add the element button into your website. To be able to add the element, you're simply going to click on this option over here on the right side, on the left side, which is the add elements option over here. So simply click this and you will be able to see all the different elements that we could add right now. And over here on the basic, like I said earlier, it is one of the most basic elements that you could use for any type of website. And as you can see, we have our button over here. To be able to add our button into our Webflow design, you're simply either going to drag it or click on it to be able to add our button. And there we go, we have our button over here. Right away, as you can see, we already see here settings. Over here on the right side as well, you have a lot of settings that you can see right now. So let's explore and see the different things that we could do to our buttons. First things first, we have our button over here. I would like to change the color or the background of our text. So to be able to change our background, you can see here on the right side, as you scroll down, you will be able to see background options over here. So we can change the color to whatever color that you want. You can change it to white, which would contrast with our background. You can change it to black, which would correspond with our colors as well. You can change it to any color that you want. You can adjust the transparency just like that. You can adjust the color to any color that you want. And you can see here hex and different combinations as well. And aside from colors, you can also see over here, you could clip it to the background, to padding, the context, and to the text over here. And also, for another option, you could add a gradient or an image as a background for your button. So when I click this, as you can see, I can change it to something else. For example, let's choose an image. You could choose it, any options that you have over here. I think this is mainly for the main background, so let's exit this for now. Let's exit this and make sure that we are actually selecting the correct option. So let's fix our thing. There we go. Make sure that we are selecting our button over here. And click on settings. Over here on the right side. Let's look for it again. There we go. And make sure that we are selecting our button over here. So you could add gradients. There we go. We are now selecting our button itself. Then you could choose image. You could change the size over here, like custom, cover, contain. You can adjust the position, the tiling, and the fixed position over here. This is for the image. There's also versions for the gradient. As you can see, there's a gradient for our text. So we can move the gradient around so we can have a gradient for our button. You can also edit the angle of the gradient. There we go, as you can see here. And there's also another option over here, which is this one over here, radial gradient, which will start in the center. And you have your color overlay over here. You see. Now let's check out our image. Let's choose image over here. Over here on the assets, this is where you will be able to see the different images that is currently available for your design. Of course, we could upload an image. So when we click this, we could create a new folder actually. So for me, I would like to try and add a photo. So let's click on upload and simply select the photo that you would like to have. For example, that one over here. I'm uploading a photo right now, and let's see if we will be able to utilize this. As you can see here, we're simply going to wait for it to finally upload and select this. And let's see, currently uploading, and let's see if we will be able to see our design. So let's click our button again. Let's go to our background, click on our option over here. Let's disable some of the things. I think it's overlapping our photo over here. Select this again. Feel like there's an issue with how it's processing right now, but you will be able to add a photo for your button. And as you can see here, you can now have a photo as a button, just like what we are seeing right now. You're going to have to select the cover option over here. There's also contain option over here and the custom option over here. And you can also change the color of the text by clicking this, and you will be able to see different options over here. You have your layouts, spacing, size, position, your typography over here. You can change the font to something else. As you can see, when we move around and see the different options, you will be able to see the text changing. Now let's change the color for the meantime because it's a bit hard to see. Let's change it to a different color, maybe black. Let's change our background again. Let's put it back to the normal one because it's a bit hard to see our font text. There we go. So let's adjust our typography to white. There we go. Then you can explore your different fonts over here. When you hover on the different options, you will be able to see the different font size right away or font styles. You can also add fonts if ever you would like to add a different font. For example, let's go with EXO for now. You can also adjust the weight over here. You can change it to black, extra bold, bold, semi-bold, medium, light, or thin over here. You can choose any of this option. And you also have your size and like alignment over here for the text, specifically for the text, and other options over here. Now, there's also effects over here below. You can see you have your blending. You change the different effects over here. Opacity. You can make it transparent or not. You have your outline if ever you would like to have some outline. Right now, there is no outline really because this is a button. But you could have like box and shadows, all of those stuff. You could click that and you could have outside, the distance. There we go. You could adjust the angle, the blur of the shadow and stuff, like the size as well. There you go. Let's leave that alone for now. Let's click on our button again. Now, what we can do also is we could also change the position of our button. Right now it is over here on the right side, or the left side rather. So we could add a padding to it or a margin. So over here, this is a margin. You could simply drag it and you can move wherever you would like to put it by doing this. You're going to have to click it to move it. There we go. And you can move it back as well. Of course, this is not going to affect it because we already have this option over here. There we go. You can adjust this as well. And you can also do the same thing for the top. There we go. You can change the position. And the same thing for the button over here. And there's also padding that you could adjust and change. You can see when you do this, you will extend the size of your button, of course. There we go. You can make it a long button instead of a short button. And you can make sure that they are equal, 142. There we go. And you can also make it bigger, adjusting this, or smaller, depending on how you would like it to be. So let's adjust it to 9 for now. Aside for that, you can edit other things as well. We could double click this and you will be able to see here settings. You can click this and now you can see like link settings, basically what this button will do. So you can add your link over here or the channel or the page of your Webflow, so that when the person clicks this, they will be redirected to the page that is assigned to the URL or assigned to the link over here. You can also select the page directly in Webflow. As you can see here, you can choose page. You have your different projects over here, or you could preload them as well over here. And there's also another option, page selection. You see, you could choose it to be redirected to email, message, name, forms, or works over here. You could change it to email or subject, or you could have it as a call button or a phone button over here. You could click on show all settings and you will be able to see it over here on the right side again, which is the option. And you have your visibility also. You have your visible and hidden. You could add more over here, and you could add another element. You can also create components. You can have your custom attributes and other settings over here. And in this section, like what we saw earlier, this is where you change the different elements. And you can also select the style selector over here. You could have it as hover as well. You can change something when it hovers. You can have another option over here for when it clicks on something or any of that. You could change the way you do things over here. So let's see what else can we do. You can see your borders, effects, cursor over here, drop top filters, backdrops, and you can also click on right click. You can select the parent element, warp, and div block, link block, open settings, copy, duplicate, and all of these things. You could rename the class if ever you would like to do that as well. And you could edit the different things. You can also click on more options over here, where you can see more options on the text over here. Where you could add multiple elements or multiple buttons into your page. For example, we have the button one over here. You could add another button over here, which would add another button as you can see here. You can delete that. You could also copy and paste your button over here so that you have two buttons, and you could adjust the padding or like the positioning of this one to make some space. Let's see which one we could add. I think this is going to be connected because it is together in when we copy and pasted it. But there we go. That is how you will be able to utilize and add some buttons to your website. There's a lot of things that you could do to your buttons, so make sure to explore and make use of the different elements or different settings that you could do with Webflow. And that's it, guys. Hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching.